Good evening, welcome to Quays News Live at 5. I'm Adam Clark.
And I'm Natalia Petro. Coming up in this evening's programme.
The end of the weekly shop, how inflation is forcing Salford students to buy essentials only day by day.
When a gas leak is not a water leak, students turn out their homes in the cold on a false alarm.
And better than ever, recycling. Young people are doing their bit for the planet, but will it be enough? With inflation causing the current cost of living crisis, Evie is live at Salford Shopping Centre to find out the effect it's having on students and businesses.
Okay. Can you hear them? You're in.
The cost of living crisis has impacted many, including businesses and students. A new survey has found that the cost of living crisis will impact businesses more than the global pandemic. The highest threat to businesses over the foreseeable months are rising energy costs. Importing goods has become a much more expensive task, leading to students not being able to keep up with the prices for their weekly shops. I'm here with Nathan to talk about how inflation has impacted him and what you've been doing about it, really.
Well, you've just caught me at a good time because I've just been shopping and I don't even want to look at the receipt.
Oh wow, why is that?
Well, after I paid my rent this month and my mum's had to come and help me with shopping again, so it's not looking good for me.
Oh wow, where does she travel from?
She travels from Chester, so it's not that close.
So again, it's fuel prices.
Fuel prices, yeah, to the point where we've had to sell my car to cover the cost. Yeah.
And do you get any sort of finance for it?
My parents own a gas business, so I get the lowest maintenance loan, which is fine, but I just can't afford more of it.
It just doesn't cut it, really. Has there been anything else?
It's a bit of a shambles considering my brother used to pay 90 quid in the early 2000s for his accommodation. I'm paying 200 a week plus shopping.
Wow. So it's not fair, really, but
No.
Thank you so much for speaking with
fine.
us.
Thank
and
you.
Let us learn a bit more about what's going
No
on.
worries.
We can see that the inflation is having a huge impact on students who can't even afford a coffee. Back to you at the studio.
A water leak on Lower Broughton Road leads to residents living near the houses left out of the cold. The water leaks lead to the road closures, bus detours, while the police and fire services attend the scenes. Our reporter Sophie Lyons investigates more.
A fireman knocked on the door and told us that it wasn't safe for us to be in our houses because there was a threat to human life.
Lower Broughton Road is a popular area for students to live, but it wasn't a fun night out for the students who stood out in the cold when they had to evacuate their houses.
We had to go and stand out on the street, like a few houses down, for like 45 minutes. And like it started to get dark, it was cold, like most of us were in our pyjamas.
2 fire engines were the first to arrive at the suspected gas leak on Lower Broughton Road, and the firefighters who went into the building were all wearing gas masks. Shortly after the firefighters went in, the police arrived, and this was when people living on Lower Broughton Road were told that they had to evacuate their houses and keep a safe distance away behind some police tape. After about 45 minutes of being stood in the cold, firefighters told the residents that it wasn't in fact a gas leak and it was a water leak. United Utilities didn't wish to give a written statement on what happened, but advised me over the phone that the minute they heard about it, they sent someone out to switch the water off and dealt with it that day. Eventful is just one of the words students are using to describe their night.
Quite nerve-wracking, really. And it was like a little bit exciting too, because I've not been evacuated from somewhere before. But yeah, it was quite scary.
Sophie Lyon, Quays News, Salford.
The Lowry Theatre in Salford has welcomed a brand new musical to its programme, and it began its run last night. Our reporter George Ike has more.
The Lowry opened its brand new show Blood Brothers last night with a spectacular sellout performance. It's a brilliant drama surrounding the argument of nature versus nurture on the streets of Liverpool, and really asks the question, what's more important, nature or nurture? But not in the conventional academic argument sense, but through a musical like no other. It's a strong cast, and carrying the show was Mrs. Johnson, played by Nikki Colwell-Evans. She's a former X Factor auditionee, while the Welsh-turned-Scouse narrator was also excellent in the show last night, carrying through some poetic and political rhyme in there as well. Jay Worley playing Eddie was also exceptional, while Sean Jones playing the role of Mickey. He's played the role for over 20 years, and there's a 44-year age gap between the character when we first meet him, age 7, and him now, age 51, in the performance. Blood Brothers continues here at the Lowry until Saturday evening before they carry on around the rest of the UK.
On Twitter and Instagram, we've put a poll and questions for you to reach out to us on your thoughts about recycling. Harry Cohen is live at the studio.
Hiya, I've been around Salford Quays today talking to people about their thoughts on recycling, and the first question I asked them, Adam and Natalia, was whether or not people recycled and if they thought it was important. These are their responses.
Part of my ethos in life, I'm a vegan. I'm a vegan obviously for ethical reasons, but also for the welfare of the planet, so it's very important to me to do my bit.
I recycle because well, it's just the best thing for the planet really. If you use things more than once, then less things go into the ocean and, you know, the surrounding sort of environment really, and that can only be a good thing.
Yeah, we recycle at home, yeah.
Some things, yeah. Like if it says recyclable on the packaging, then I'll recycle it.
Not for obvious reasons. Helps the planet and saves money obviously because you can recycle the actual things that we put in the bins.
So out of all the people that we interviewed today, 100% of them have said that they recycle. We then asked people what advice they would give to people who don't recycle, and this is what they said.
It's something I've looked a lot into over the years. I'm actually a bit of a nightmare for my wife. We've got a lot of different bins for different things. We recycle all our green waste as well, so all from the garden, things like that. So not just bottles and cans and things, we do everything.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, if everyone makes an effort, then it'd just be a happier place for us all, really.
Well, because, I mean, it's all part of the bigger picture, isn't it, in terms of waste products, waste energy. And I think that recently it's been made slightly easier with the boxes and the sort of the ways you can do it, but I still think there's more convenience still to come, hopefully, you know.
Yeah, I do, because I think if you don't, it'll go to landfills and that'll like harm the environment and stuff.
Just easy. It's just putting like stuff in a certain bin. It can take like 5 seconds to do.
Global warming.
To get with it, they need to get with today's society and what we do. And basically, there's 10 more million people in the country now than there was in 2000 and 2000. So basically, 10 million in 20 years. So there's lots of recycling to be done, isn't there?
Try harder, but I think the councils need to try harder by providing the facilities for recycling. I think that's one of the problems. You don't always have the necessary bins that you need. Yeah. So everyone working together really.
So I was quite interested in what I heard today, so I actually measured my own carbon footprint, and really simple to do online. I used the WWF one, and the first time I measured it I included the fact that I do recycle, and then I did it again and said that I don't, and my carbon footprint did drop by 7%. So that's quite a large number just from not recycling.
Definitely.
And obviously the carbon footprint is a big sort of talking point at the moment, sort of from what you sort of saw from talking to people out there today. Sort of, was there any surprises from what people saw or from what people said?
I wasn't really surprised at all at the fact that no one said that they didn't recycle, whether people were being 100% truthful. It's quite a big question at the minute, but we've found out that in the last 5 years, 5% of households have increased their recycling amount. So it is definitely something that people are talking about more and is improving.
Definitely, I'm sure it's something we will come back to on Quays News. And finally today, rapper Little Simz received the Mercury Award. She won Album of the Year for her 4th album, Sometimes I Might Be an Introvert.
We all change people's lives with our music, and that's the most important thing. So this is for us, really, you know what I'm saying? Thank you guys so much.
That's all for us today. Follow us on Twitter @Quays News.
Good night.